Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Getting Out of Bed with Micah, where I take you along with me on my journey as I grow in discipline through getting up early and starting my day off in a productive, successful way. So today it is Tuesday. I got up at about 6:20 today, so a little better than yesterday, moving in the right direction. Hopefully tomorrow we'll do even better. I'm hoping to go to bed really early tonight. We'll see what happens. I wanted to go to bed really early last night, but I had to edit so I could post my weekly vlog. So, didn't get to bed till like 10:30. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes tonight. We'll see what happens. But anyway, walking along down the road today, and listening to my boy Angie Womack. Love that guy. And it really just kind of like hit me what he was talking about, because he was talking about how my sin had set me basically at war with God, and then Jesus showed up, and Jesus satisfied God's need for me to be righteous before we could be in relationship. But not only did he satisfy God's need for me to be righteous and make me righteous through the cross and everything, through resurrection, but he also satisfied my need to overcome sin, and so through his grace, he has empowered me to live free of sin. And it's just a crazy thing, because sometimes, like, the temptation to do the wrong thing is so strong that it becomes easy for me to feel like I can't do this. And then being reminded that, oh yeah, that's because if I'm trying to do it myself, I can't do this. It's only because of what Jesus did. And as I rest in that and grab hold of his victory and not try and create my own, that is when I'm able to not only be made righteous through him, but live righteously because of him. So loved that. Figured I'd share with y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna roll on in, get rest of my morning going, and then I will come back at you with my thoughts from the Word. All right, so it really jumped out at me in my Bible reading today. Reading in Mark chapter 2, almost said Luke. Anyway, reading in Mark chapter 2, verse 13 through 17, we see here Jesus calling Levi. And so he's walking down the road, and Levi's sitting there, at the tax collector's table or whatever. And Jesus is like, follow me. And he's like, okay. And he gets up and he follows him. And then we see Jesus is eating at Levi's house. And we see he's eating with a bunch of sinners. And so the religious leaders and everything are like, what is this? And so they question his disciples and are like, why is he eating with a bunch of sinners? Like, this is weird. And so, of course, Jesus knows what's going on. And so he comes over and he's like, healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do. And I love this statement here. One, I love this whole scenario because, I feel like it's so important to not fall into this trap of a mindset that I should be just surrounding myself with people who think just like me and who, are also believers and all of that. But I'm here to bring life to people. People are hurting and broken, and without Jesus, we're empty. And so I'm here to bring life to others through Jesus, so that people can be full, truly full. But the other thing is this statement of, healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do. Because he then says, I'm not here to call the righteous, but the sinners. And, I find it at first glance, this can be like, wait a minute, don't you like righteous people? Like, obviously the whole point is to bring righteousness to the lost. But the point of what he's saying is that he's not here for people who are convinced that they're righteous on their own. And this is something that I find really important, because it's just as bad to be convinced that you're righteous in yourself as it is to just be a flat out sinner, you know, because we all need saving. Like, apart from Jesus, we are broken. Apart from Jesus, we are sinners. Apart from Jesus, we have no life in us. But in order for us to receive Jesus, we have to first recognize that we need him. And so, the the greatest hindrance oftentimes to finding life in Jesus and being in relationship with Jesus isn't necessarily a horrible sin, because if it's horrible sin, then you just need to be convinced that he loves you anyway. It's when we get convinced, it's when we get stuck in this mindset of I'm a good person, because good person means nothing compared to Jesus. Like, you may be a good person, but compared to absolute perfection, which is what's required, you're not. Like, and it takes me back to the guy who rolls up to Jesus. Can't remember where it is. The guy who rolls up to Jesus and is like, "Teacher, what must I do to be saved?" And he's like, "Follow the law," because salvation hasn't come yet. He's like, "Follow the law," and he's like, "I've done all of these things, since the beginning. Like, I've done all these since birth, because Jesus kind of lists some of the laws. And he's like, "All right, then, one more thing. Go sell everything you have and give it to the poor." And the guy walks away, and he's sad because he had a lot of things, and he wasn't willing to let them go. And the point of what Jesus was doing was not necessarily saying, "Oh, I only accept you if you're perfect." But what he was saying is, I can only accept you if you recognize that you are not perfect and that you need me, because you cannot obtain righteousness on your own, but through me, even in your mistakes, you're made righteous. And so, really love that. Super important, on both sides, for me to not isolate myself, because I'm here to bring life to those who have none. And this important reminder that if I get in a mindset of I've got this, or I'm righteous in myself, or I'm pretty good, or I'm doing pretty well, and I step outside of I'm only able to do what I do because of the life of Jesus that's in me, then I will fall apart. And so it's important to hold on to these things, keep my focus straight, keep my eyes on Jesus, be reminded that I need him, really need him. Super important. But anyway, that'll be it then for today's Getting Out of Bed with Micah. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And always remember that you are important, that you are valuable, that you matter, that Jesus loves you, and so do I. And I'll see you next time. Toodaloo. Bye.